Welcome back to Truth Over Approval. If you're new here, I just want to let you know this ain't no motivational channel. You feel me? So this is for game and for men who've been getting it hard in life, and moving slow and moving soft. You see, I had to learn the hard way. Respect don't come from what you say, it generally comes from how you move. And one cold lesson I learned in life, which is a tough one, is she only respects you when you stop chasing. It might sound like it's simple or da da, but let's talk about it. When you start pulling back your energy, everything changes, man. You notice how the same people who used to ignore you start checking your story? How the ones who used to talk over you start listening to you when you speak? Man, that's not magic. That's pure energy. See, chasing tells people you're desperate, and desperation kills attraction every single time. A man doesn't chase validation, he creates gravity. And let's be real about it. A woman's not built to lead, she's built to feel. So when she feels your energy scattered, and when she feels you begging for her time, she can't respect that. Because you're so predictable, you're common, you're easy to read. You're like everybody else. It's like every nigga in a DM. You know what I mean? So you gotta pull back. You know what I mean? When you move like your time means something, man, you stop arguing, stop explaining, and stop proving. You know what I mean? That's when she leans into you, bro. Because when she's feeling something, she can't control being curious. You know what I mean? She's wondering what changed. What you focused on, what's going on in your life, what you moving on. And that's power, man. I ain't gonna lie, that's pure power. You need to teach people how to treat you. Have you ever noticed how the ones with boundaries are more respected? Because those boundaries build value over time. If you reply every second, cancel your plans for people, and chase approval, you're teaching the world that you settle for crumbs. I'm not even gonna lie, man. But when you say no, man, you choose your peace over pressure. You teach the world that, they can't access you that easily. They gotta earn it. You know what I mean? You're not giving in too easily. And that's how you build respect, man. By not shouting it out, by just living it. And I'm not gonna lie to you, like a lot of people be talking about the pull game method. But one thing I got to realize about it is that I realized that chasing kills masculine energy. Let me tell you what chasing really does. It takes your focus off your purpose, because every second you spend trying to convince somebody to see your worth, it's a second you could have spent building something that's worth showing. You know what I mean? Because money, peace, health, and discipline, man, that's supposed to be your foundation. You know what I mean? Because when those things are solid, your energy speaks before you even open your mouth. A woman might like your looks, your jokes, your vibe, but she definitely respects discipline. You know what I mean? And that's what separates boys from men. You need to build this mindset because masculine energy is magical when it's calm. You don't have to chase what's already aligned with you. You just have to stop interrupting the process with insecurity. Because have you ever realized the more you stay focused, the more life gives you? And it gives you what's meant for you, like people, opportunities, like even love, without really forcing it. Because when you stop chasing, you start attracting. And that's what a lot of people are afraid of. They're afraid of attracting, they're comfortable chasing. With building this mindset, you gotta have respect over affection. Because she loves you today and then switches on you tomorrow. That's emotions, they change all the time. But respect, that's earned and it does last. And once you have it, everything else just follows naturally. It comes into your life super easy and effortless. So so start begging for affection and start demanding respect, my people. Not with words but with actions. So show up for yourself, build your life, and stay consistent. That's what makes people treat you different. And if you know what the end result is, if you don't do that, you already know what happens after that. Nobody's gonna respect you, nobody's gonna love you, nobody's gonna wanna be your friend. You're not gonna be attracting the things that you want in your life. You're gonna be attracting things you don't want in your life. So next time you feel like you're chasing somebody, hey, just stop it. Because every time you do that, you're telling the world that your value depends on their affection. Move like the prize, think like a king, act like a man who already has everything he needs within himself. And a lot of people are afraid of that shit. I don't really understand why people are afraid of feeling like they are the prize, they are the king, and they have everything in line. Maybe everything could not be in line, but you gotta feel and act like it's already there. Because truth is, the moment you stop chasing, everything that's meant for you starts chasing you. And I'm gonna stay cold and truth with you. I'm just gonna say, welcome to Truth Over Approval. This side, we ain't gonna sugarcoat nothing, man. So if you found this really interesting or entertaining, man, drop a follow. You know what I mean? Follow your boy on Instagram. Like the video so you can reach more people who might need to hear this. But with that being said, my people, I see you guys in the next one. Peace.